We are back in the building for the third time today. I don't know what's going on, but clearly they trying to do a little something, something. They try to do a little something, something. So I don't know what they got going on. Shoot, we done lost the comments. What I read them out here. I took a quick screenshot of them. Hey, being proactive. Can y'all see that, by the way? Can y'all see the comments? Mr. Sean talking about wise words. She said a mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. Man, that's bars right there, Mr. Sean. Come on, Mr. Sean. Come on, Mr. Sean. We need it. That's why I screenshot. I said we got to go back to this. We can't let that ride. We cannot let that one ride. But thank you for sharing that, Mr. Sean. Fina said she's grateful for my healthy boys, my flourishing business, my self-love, confidence hit different. Come on now. She said I'm bossing around Mississippi. She said life like can you say it, Chris? Life is good. Life is good. Is that good, Chris? Did I do it right? Good. Was I good, Chris?
You good, dog. Life is good.
Is that how you say it? Life is good. Anyway, she said life is good, and she said yes to the self-care. So appreciate you sharing, Fina. If you back in the building, so
again, yes.
I'm not saying it again. I knew you was gonna call it out.
Say it again.
I knew you was coming with it. But anyway, this is the third of the road, man. We are back again. So we want to get to what we are here to do on this Saturday. And talk to that boy Pose, and you're muted, by the way, if you don't know that. But we want to learn more about what you're doing, Pose. So for the people that haven't seen the session 2 Thursdays ago with the mental health, for people who haven't seen you on here, who haven't heard we talking about with the Take Care program or anything that you're doing with the cohorts and everything you're doing great in the Indy, how about to say the Far East side, but I think you're a little bigger than that now, out there in Indy. Tell the people a little bit more about Josh Posley and what you're doing today.
Okay, first and foremost, I always start off with my purpose statement. I'm an empowering thought leader, and my purpose is to uplift, inspire, and empower others to learn more, do more, and be more. So I carry that out a couple different ways. One, I do a contract work as a program facilitator for Go Consulting under Employee Indy. Employee Indy works to decrease the unemployment rate here in Indiana. And they have a program sector for the youth, but these are older youth. They call them opportunity youth, which is ages of 16 to 24, either out of school or out of work, or they need more education, or they need a better job. So what I do, I teach a program called the Power Huddle, and that I teach them how to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. That fixed mindset being a mindset that is limited, that doesn't understand your true value and what you can truly attain, and feeling as though what you have in life is fixed and you can't break through the boundaries that you are in right now. And a growth mindset will be a mindset that fosters all of your dreams and aspirations, and gaining that mindset that will be able to reap all the results of the abundant life of prosperity that you want to achieve. Secondly, I'm the CEO and founder of J. Posley LLC, which works to build organizations and programs that teach individuals how to learn more, do more, and be more. From there, I have the Take Care program, teaches about mental health and self-care to increase the quality of life. I have the Take Care Life Coaching program, talk about purpose and your passion. Number 2, how to create your system for success, because it's not just about the goal, it's about the system that you put in place to achieve that goal. Number 3, learning how to effectively execute your goals. Learn things about discipline, consistency, time management, organization, things are a practical way to execute and achieve these goals. And then number 4, which is one of the most important to me, is creating and sustaining a self-care routine, whether that's a morning routine, a midday reset, or an evening routine to regroup and focus and set your attentions and your tasks for the next day. So everything that I do is in the realm of growth and development. I'll get into more specifically how I even got on that path, but everything that I do is, like I said in my purpose statement, being very intentional to teach individuals how to learn more, do more, and be more, so that they can increase their quality of life.
Man, come on now. Come on, man.
That's
We
it,
need
man.
a round of applause. We need a thing. We need a come on, bro. Hey. That's all you don't know. I don't know what to say, bro. You're doing some big time things, bro. I call it legacy work, bro. You're doing legacy work. And actually, I'm just reading on the old live while I still see these comments. But it actually goes right with my pop's wise words, because he said stop selling and start helping people. And that is exactly what you're doing, bro. He said give value, inform, inspire, and instruct others. Live life enormous. Stop living dormant like an unplanted seed. So that is exactly what you're doing right now, bro. You're not just trying to sell things. You're out here helping people and helping them improve their life. So again, man, you're just doing big time work, bro. You're doing legacy work that's really gonna make a difference in this world. So I just want to say thank you so much for what you're doing, bro. It's huge, bro. It's huge. But to get into it, man, I know you talked about systems, man, and that's one thing that I love to talk about, because I do understand, talking to myself right now, I'm a big visionary. I'm on step 10. I go to the end goal really easy in my mind. This is where I naturally go. Where's the end goal? But it's very tough to get to the end goal without a system of getting there. And that's something that I've, within the last year or so, of getting better at. But when it comes to systems, what type of systems do you personally have in your life that you've implemented that's going to help you get to your personal goals?
For example, I'll give some context. One, the Navy SEALs say that when you meet adversity, it's the wrong time to get prepared. It's too late to get prepared. So when you hit adversity, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your discipline, which means that I'm going to do this thing continuously, and that when I hit adversity, nothing's going to change. I'm just going to focus on my consistency. So for me, just be real. There's a lot of times that I've dealt with a lot of self-care issues, a lack of self-care. My mental health wasn't strong. It wasn't very strong and stable at certain points. I've gone through different depressions and different things, just with a lack of strong mental health. And so what I know I need to do, I know I get in these rabbit holes of falling down in the sense of mental health when I don't stay consistent with my self-care. Like, for example, like in the morning, part of my system for success is I know at the end of the day, I want to be productive. I want to be effective with my time, and I want to have a peaceful and prosperous day. But I know that's the goal. But what is the system that you're going to put in place to do that? You can't just wake up and just get there. What are you about to do to get to that point? Being specific, I wake up every morning. The first thing I do is I open my phone and I look at my scripture. And then at that point, I'm not really that alert. So I go to my brain game, and I pay for this app. It's called Elevate. So I play this game. They give you 6 games to play that really stimulate your mind. Then I'm fully aware. I can pray, get in the shower, meditate, read a physical book. So my phone is down. I'm not listening to anything. Read a physical book. I go to my Shine app and do my meditation. I do my journaling. But that's just an example. In order for me to reach that goal I said I want to have at the end of the day, I need to put this system in place right now. So that's just one of many examples. My whole day works off of a system, and it can kind of be to a fault at sometimes because, got to be flexible and be able to adapt. But that is an example. Okay, it's not just about wanting to have a productive and effective day. It's about, okay, in order to do that, I need to do this consistently, and that will be able to produce that result. And then when I know if something comes up and, a life change comes to something that would have before led me down a depression, I don't change up at all, because I know then if I get off my routine, I'm really about to hit rock bottom. I don't care what the circumstance is. I'm doing this routine. I'm doing, and all the other routines I do throughout the day. I'm doing this regardless of the circumstance, regardless of how I feel, regardless of anything else. I'm going to get it done regardless.
Love that, bro.
Negotiable routine. Love it, brother.
Hey, regardless of how you feel, I'm writing that one down. So, and it sounds so simple, right? It sounds so simple. I literally just talked about this yesterday in my speech, man. The difference between an amateur and a pro. Amateurs do things when they feel like it. That's what amateurs do. Oh, I feel like doing it. Let's go. Let's get it. That's when they go. That's when they attack. They're also dabblers. They're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're not all the way in. They're not bought in, right? So that's what makes them, be kind of 1 foot in, 1 out. Versus professionals, you don't care if you feel like it or not. You're going to be there and you're going to get it done. So we talk about, corporate America work and people in this work, like, oh, you not feeling good today? Well, I bet you're going to be in your work chair on your work computer. Yep. I bet you're going to be doing your job because you're a professional. Versus an amateur, I don't feel like it. I ain't going to. All right, so you guys know the difference already. So I love that you talked about that, bro. That's huge, bro. So appreciate you dropping them gems.
That's it,
No,
man.
no problem.
That's it.
Go ahead,
Go
Post.
ahead, dog.
One way I think people can learn how to be disciplined in those things, and it's very simple. But was my first step to get me in that mindset because everything is a progression. Number one, as simple as it is, start by making your bed. Now, I say that because who really, if you haven't done it consistently, who wakes up and say, man, I can't wait to make my beds? It's not something that you usually feel like doing. But I got in my head, I'm not leaving my house until I make my bed. I don't care if I'm about to be late. I know that it was something that I needed to do. I'm not about to make excuses. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to make my bed regardless. That's the first accomplishment of the day. Before I walk out of my bedroom, I'm going to make sure my bed is clean. One, because I needed to do it. One, because it's a disciplined thing to do. Number three, because I see a product of me being disciplined is a made bed. I didn't feel like doing something. I did it anyway. And I can see the finished product. It's a nice looking bed. And then not only that, doing it decently and in order. Don't just put your bed together. Make up your bed to perfection. Like, do it correctly. And doing that consistently, it'll help you take that mindset into other things. Okay, like how, okay, I clean my bed. I made up my bed, but my kitchen is clean. Okay, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. If you're gonna be disciplined to make up your bed to perfection, clean up your kitchen to perfection. And it's not just about the kitchen. It's not about the bed. It's about being disciplined to do those things that you need to do, whether you feel like doing it or not. And discipline is not a fun thing to do. And I'm not saying I'm the poster child of discipline, but getting that right mindset of continuing to do those things is the beginning of it. And so everything else has flowed from that. And it's just a constant progression. I'm progressing at it now at 27, going on 28. I'm sure I'll be making progress at it on 87, going on 88. So I'm not a poster child for it, but it is my intention every day to be as disciplined and consistent as possible.
Yeah, love that. We got a quote in our kitchen that says, "Discipline is the greatest form of self-care." See it every day.
It is. That's the greatest thing I heard this month.
Yeah, we got some merch. We got some merch in the store too. Get your merch.
Oh,
get your merch.
What's up? freedom5317.com. You was wondering. Love that. Hey, y'all know I be hogging, so let me back up. Chris, Mike, y'all got any questions? Because y'all know
no, it's all good.
Y'all know I got some questions.
I was gonna let y'all know I had my time with Pose, but yeah, hey Pose. So like I said, I appreciate you coming on the mental health webinars last Thursday. We talked about a whole lot, dog. So for the people who weren't there, can you just explain, what we talked about and what we and what you got from the session and what was powerful in the session?
What I understood, one thing that stood out to me was we talked about specifically our background. Okay, we talked about the things that we went through to get us in this position now to help uplift, inspire, and empower people to learn more, do more, and be more. And I think the one thing that people have to realize is understanding the power in their story. And nothing has meaning but the meaning you give it. So nothing is either good or bad, but I think it makes it so, is what Shakespeare says. Nothing is either good or bad, but I think it makes it so. So some people look at their struggle. Some people see what they've gone through and they just have a bad conscience about it, or they take that to build a fixed mindset and say, oh, I can't achieve this, I can't do this, I'm not worthy of this. And that's where the self-doubt and the imposter syndrome kicks in. But a lot of the things that we talked about was your journey at Virginia Tech, the things that we went through high school, going into Virginia Tech, and then that process of being out of football and understanding or having that thought process that I'm inadequate, that I can't do this. And then you talked about, you blew out your back working in the factory and thinking, okay, like I'm at rock bottom. Now what? I have to progress. My life can't be down to this. And you talked about that depression and the things that you went through Virginia Tech and on through, to current day. And then with me talking about understanding the power of my story, just with everything that I went through, transferring from Cincinnati to my aunt passing, to my closest cousin dying of a brain aneurysm, having a baby, to my family, my parents getting a divorce. And all of you know my family, how like strong like my household was and my family bond.
Mm-hmm.
And just I can go down the rant, you know, a lot, but I remember being at Cincinnati, and so you all have been to Cincinnati. The stadium is right in the middle of campus. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you look and you go straight down 50,000 seater in the ground. I will go there in the middle of campus at 3 a.m, just sit there like, man, like, God, what? Like, what? Literally not even having any words to articulate that. But why am I even saying this now? It's because me understanding what I went through now, and then understanding my purpose, and then understanding how I can use that to help impact and inspire other people. Um, I'm really trying not to go on a rant because I'm really passionate about this stuff.
Hey, take your
It's
time.
all
Take your
good,
time.
dog.
Take your
Take your
time.
time, man.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm passionate about this stuff. But to answer your question specifically, that's one of the things that I took away. One of several things, because we had a great
Mm-hmm.
conversation. Go to the YouTube channel if you haven't watched the full thing. But
Yeah.
but yeah, understand the power in your story so you can know how to execute. G Scott talked about the GPS before. The only way that you can get to a place effectively and not without wasting time, if you put that address and put your destination in your GPS, then you can know how to navigate. And so me understanding my past is understanding how to take the proper path, you know, to understand where I need to go to reach my destination. And I'm using everything that I've been through to be able to learn how to be whole, for me to learn
Mm-hmm.
how to be at peace, and then how to let this information, this knowledge go come to me and through me to others so people can use it to progress in their life as well.
I love that pose. I love all of that. I'd say this all the time that the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror for a reason. You're supposed to be looking forward most of the time. Most of the time, but you got to look back every once in a while. So you got to see who behind you. You got to see, look in your past a little bit like, okay, that happened to me. I got to learn from that. How do I navigate this again? Let me not do that thing because it ended bad for me last time. Okay, now I'm back on the road. Now I'm back on this windshield. Now I'm back looking forward. You just glance at your past. That's all you do. You don't focus on it or you're going to crash. So that's what it is. That's the perfect metaphor for it. Can't focus on
Absolutely.
your past or you will crash.
Mm.
That's what it is.
Big bars.
Love that.
Let me
Love
know,
that
Chris,
pose. Love
right now. But yeah, I got a question
right.
for
You
you,
have a
Posley. So, so as you got through your journey, obviously you had somebody that was a big positive influence for you to get to this point. You know, all your lessons that you've learned in life, the obstacles, the struggles, and um, and a lot of people doesn't have the luxury that you had as far as like a strong father figure in your life. How big of an influence was he for to help you get to this point in your life with all the lessons and things he's taught you and things like that?
Man, my father was very instrumental in my growth, very instrumental with me understanding my perseverance, and very instrumental um, with me getting a lot of powerful things done, powerful accomplishments done. My dad grew up in a rough background. He had a rough upbringing in a lot of different ways. And my dad has been the testament of what it means to overcome adversity. You know, he went from having troubles in school, going off to play football, having troubles, kind of the same similar thing that went on with you, Chris, and
mm-hmm.
teachers telling him that you're not going to achieve anything. One teacher said that he feels like he has some sort of learning disability, and she used to call him retarded in the classes. But now my dad has a bachelor's, a master's, two PhDs, and he's been on MSNBC, CNN, and all these other things. He's a published author. He's just so accomplished, and a lot of the things that he's accomplished that I just said has been in the midst of my adversity as well. So just seeing that exposure to see that it can be done regardless of how you feel, regardless of what you're going through, um, there's always growth from it. One of the biggest scriptures that he's taught me was that all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. So
Mm-hmm.
You love God. He has a purpose for you. So everything has meaning. So everything that you go through is helping you get to where God has for you. So him constantly keeping that in my head, it's powerful. There was one time that I hit a rock bottom depression, when and this kind of transition, I just talked about Cincinnati, transitioned into Ball State when I transferred there. This is one time I called my dad just to come up. I just needed him to just be there and talk. He came up to my apartment, and I had to tell him some stuff that I did. I wasn't in any trouble, but I just had to tell him some stuff that I did that I was kind of embarrassed about and things. And my dad has, from day one, never been judgmental. Just understood. It let me know that he could understand and have that empathy for what I'm going through, but at the same time hold me accountable for how a man is supposed to operate, regardless of the circumstance. And so I couldn't. I could talk here all day about the influence that my dad has been, but every step of the way, he's never let me think that I was alone. He's always been in arm's reach to help me progress and in any way possible. So I wouldn't be here without him. I mean, everybody in my family, my immediate family, but him as well, just because him being a man and understanding specifically what I'm going through, and just having that knowledge to help me progress.
That's it, dog.
Thank you for sharing that, man. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing all this from your past, bro. Like this is huge, and we talk about it all the time with mentorship, right? Because you can clearly see, everybody can clearly see Josh Posley on here and be like, that's a well put together brother. It's a well put together brother, right? Well, who helped you get there and put you together like that? Because that is where we, sometimes we lack in our community. I'm just being honest. We lack that mentorship. We lack that guidance. We don't have anybody to look up to. I'm a big believer in finding a mentor of somebody you want to be like. Like I want to live my life just like him. Obviously, I'll create it to my own, but find that person that you want to be like, because it shows you the proof of concept. So it's like, wow, you can do this. You can be a black man with 2 PhDs. You can be on TV. You can be inspiring and helping people move forward and get better. And then guess what that does? It trickles down to his seed, Josh Posley, now, to where Josh is in that space helping people every single day, making them move forward. So, and a lot of people do not have that mentor, and a lot of people are looking for that mentor. So if that's you, go find it. Go find that person that you want to be like. Who do you want to live your life? Who do you want to implement your life after? Like, what does that look like? Just so you can see the proof of concept. And then I'll wrap up with a quick, for me, it's literally my guy, Jason. Is 100%. I'm praying in the morning, asking the Lord for a coach. Specifically a real estate coach, a real estate mentor. It's 5 a.m. I'm praying about it. Boom, boom, boom. I go to CrossFit that same day, about 2 hours later, Jason said, hey, man, I want to mentor you, bro. I see something in you that I just want to mentor you. And I'm just like mind blown. Like, God, I was just asking for a mentor. Like, is this the one? Is this the guy? Like, how'd you just send it? He ain't in real estate though, but come to find out he's a public speaker. And once I started talking to him, I just gave my first commencement speech yesterday. That is how the Lord works. It's 2 years later, I gave a commencement speech to a high school. That is how it works, because I seen the proof of concept, which gave me the confidence to make it go happen. So, Pose, thanks for sharing that story, brother. Thanks for sharing that.
That's it. And the thing about it is, when people don't want to go seek out mentors and they feel like, I feel down. I feel like he's above me. He or she is above me. That's all pride and ego. When you're trying to get better, you got to let that go. All of it go. Go ahead, Pose. Go ahead, but I know you got it. I know you got something for it.
So I have a book by David Gibson. David Gibson is one of the most powerful public speakers here in Indianapolis. The first video I ever saw of or watched of his, he said, "What you fear but never face will always limit you." And I was like, that's very true. Before, going back to what you said, Chris, we talked about the analogy of integrity. The second definition of it meaning being whole, just like a wheel. But if a chunk is missing out of that wheel, you can't operate off of integrity, and that wheel will never function correctly. So figuring out in life what your chunk is to see what's wrong and how you can become whole and operate in full integrity. But a lot of people are afraid to address that, but what they fear but never face will always hinder you. Just like you said, some people have limitations or just ideas of why they don't want to get a mentor, why they don't want to seek help or ask for help. But that will always limit you, because the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. And so if somebody achieved it, the Bible also says that God is no respecter of persons, and what he'll do for one, he'll do for you. So somebody knows how to do it. But if you're not doing the due diligence to see and seek and find a mentor that's going to help you do it, you will always be limited. So get out of that comfort zone, like I said to begin with.
Exactly. Once you start asking for help, that's when doors open for you, because people who have done it before want to help. They want to give back, and they want to teach people what they did, because it feels so good to be successful and do something. So why not teach it back and right? So why not spin the block and get people on too? They love it. So ask for help. It is all right. Does not make you less than. It does not make you anything, because they ask for help to get to where they are too. This life, you don't do anything in this life by yourself. Everybody talking about I'm self-made. I got it out. I got it on my own. I did this on my own. No, you did not. That job you got right now, you didn't do that on your own. They had to hire you. Like all the things that you have right now, somebody had to give it to you. Somebody had to help you get it. You didn't do it yourself. You got a business that's prospering right now. People got to buy your product. So what's up? You don't do anything in this life by yourself. So it is okay to ask for help. Once I figured that out, once that just sunk in to me, doors have just been starting to open, and people have just been wanting to bless me. Just here, Chris. Like, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Little me. That pride go. Right. I know. I'm here. We still back.
We here.
We still here.
It hit the and then we back. We back.
Yeah, let that pride go.
Yeah, I love that. So, question for you then, Pose. Like, how does someone go about? Obviously, your father is a great mentor to you. My father was a great mentor to me, giving me that mindset. But how does one? And I just shared my story of how I found my mentor. But how does one go about finding a mentor? Like, how do you go about that? And just how do you do it? How do you step out your comfort zone to just go do it?
I think it's two things that both tie into what you and Chris said. Number one, I think it starts by taking the time to be aware and build that awareness of what you want. So you can't know what you want to seek if you're not aware of what you truly want. So number one, be real with yourself, be transparent, get real vulnerable with yourself, and write it down. Write down the utopia of what you can be. Write down what you will look like at your peak potential, what your chunks are, what you're missing, and write down specifically what you want. That's one. And number two, realize, just like Chris said, that there are people that are willing to give you the knowledge. Just like us, we have the knowledge. We're on this platform right now because we want to give it out to people. We're not an anomaly. We're not the only people who want to do this on earth. There's people that's levels above us in different areas that want to do the same thing. So honestly, for me, I've had to get out of my comfort zone and ask people, hey, would you mind being my mentor? And number one, there's two answers they can give. They can give you a yes, or they can give you a no. But if they give you a no, then it just is what it is. Like I just said, everything works together for the good. So that's one step closer to finding the person who does want to be your mentor.
Exactly.
And so
that wasn't the person.
Exactly. So just being comfortable to and just like you said, Scott, is to pinpoint those people who have something that you would like to learn from them and have an aspect that you want to get better at, and reach out to those people. And if not, ask them, hey, would you mind being my mentor? I like and I value the things that you're doing. I want to get more of being like that. If you don't see that that's something that you can do right now, can you point me in the direction of somebody that could? So either they're going to say no, or they could say yes. That no can be, I can't do right now. However, I can tell you in the right direction to someone. But closed mouths don't get fed. So you can either reach out or not.
Hey, that's so real, bro. I love that you said that, because if they can't do it, who else can, right? But one little life hack and one trick of finding a mentor, because just one big, I don't want to say a little trick, a huge trick, bring value to them. You bring value to them, they will absolutely love to help you out because you're bringing value to them, and they're going to give you everything. But bring value to them first and foremost, because if you just say, hey, can you be my mentor? Well, it's like, whoa, like, what? Nah, I'm not about to just add something to my plate. I'm busy. I ain't got time. I don't got nothing to do. Bring some value to them, and they be like, wow, Devin's very valuable. Like, he's bringing something. I could see, like, okay, I could work with Devin, and then he's going to want to tell me every single thing. So bring value first and foremost. Focus on that, and the mentor will just appear, and you guys will build that relationship.
Exactly. And also, go ahead, Pose. Go ahead.
So I had a quick comment. There's a guy, David Meltzer. I'm not sure if you guys follow him, but he's a multi-millionaire. The movie Show Me the Money with Cuba Gooding Jr. with the sports agency. He was in that sports agency, like real life. So he constantly gives talks and motivations about growth and development nonstop on social media. He had a meetup here in Indy, and I met him, and he was talking a lot about. I asked him that question, like, how do I find a mentor that's in the area that I may not know much about? And he says, number one, before you ask them that, tell them you're interested in what they're doing and ask them, how can I be of service to you?
Mm-hmm.
And I do that all the time. Like, there's been people in higher up positions, and the first thing I would say is, how can I be of service? And just like you said, then they're like, okay, well, because I mean, realistically, people have a lot on their plate, and not everybody's just gonna want to be like, oh yeah, let me just allot some time to you. But like you said, if it's something that's mutually beneficial, that's a whole different subject. I did that recently with I don't know if you guys heard of the big organization 1863 Ventures, but I was able to talk to the guy that runs the seminars for the small businesses, and he's so knowledgeable, and I wanted him to help me with my Take Care LLC. And so I know he had a lot on his plate, and it was to the point where he's so knowledgeable that I was willing to give him like a small percent ownership in the company, because I would have rather said that than just say, hey, can you just reach out to me? He could have said yes, but I wanted to give that instead of another way that this could be beneficial to you. So I think just asking that, how can you be of service to that person so we're both benefiting, is a great point.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. That's the big one. Another big one is when you're around people, you don't know who could help you out. It's the thing. You might know somebody that's in your field that you want to go up and talk to and say, how can I be of service? But when you're just out and about and you just meet somebody, have a conversation with them, talk about what you're passionate about, but what you're doing. Like, if you're really living like your passions and want to do what you're passionate about, talk about it. Talk about it passionately and talk about, like, hey man, I really love this. I'm really getting in this space and want to do this. The right person is going to hear you if you keep talking about it. Right person is going to hear you and be like, oh man, I love that, and I want to do that, and I want to help you with that. The right person is going to hear it, man. Obviously, you got to ask, and you guys got to speak it of what I'm doing, even though I ain't doing it yet. This is what I'm doing, and what I'm on the road to doing. The right person is going to hear you.
That's real, bro.
And then there's purpose in everything. I keep saying that all things work together for the good. So one thing that I learned is that understand that all things working together for the good. It doesn't mean that like big situations in my life have been working together for my good. It means that literally every single thing that goes on is working together for my good. So I know that if I'm in this situation right now, if I'm in this period and I'm sitting here in this lobby, there's a reason that God has me here right now. So just like you said, if you were just to engage in conversation talking about it, God put you in that room for something, and he knows more than us. So you can either think of, well, they don't want to hear what I got to say, but like, you're not the one that put yourself in that room. God permitted you to be there right now. So talk about it. I mean, everything works together for the good. Find meaning in everything that you do, that this is getting me closer to where God has appointed me to be, because all things work together for the good, and he has your purpose ordained, whether you know your purpose or not.
That's it, man.
Hey, man.
That's it.
They bringing it.
That's it.
The heat
y'all talking that fire today. Great job.
The heat is real.
It's what it's about.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, we'll mess around, be here all day, man.
Right.
We love this conversation. We love these conversations. But man, just to wrap up a little bit, is there anything heavy on your heart right now, Pose? Is there anything heavy on your heart that you just want to get off your chest, that you're really focused on right now, that you want to, that you want to share with the people personally? Is something that you're personally doing, whether you want to talk to Take Care Life Coaching, or is there any topics that you really just, you just need to get off your chest today?
Topics that I want to get off my chest. Going a quick vent. I've been thinking this thought a little bit lately, and then one of my participants that was sharing their vision board yesterday said the same thing. He said that one thing that I taught him, and one thing that he learned from going through the program, was to understand himself more and all over again at every section of life. And I had to understand that there's big periods of time where I've had to invest in my growth and development, focus on my intake, what I'm reading, what I'm listening to, what I'm watching, who I'm talking to, and understanding my mental diet and the things that I'm putting in my brain. But then I started doing that consistently. But then I had to realize, okay, you doing this consistently has built this person that you are now. So just like that period of time that you were introspective to understand more about yourself and have that deeper awareness, that has to be continuous as well, because I have new needs and new voids that I did not have before I got on this path of growth and development. And so just understanding that every moment, every period of time is a good time to stop and reflect and be aware of what your chunks are now, what you're missing, and how you need to invest in your growth and your development and this way. So I would say that is just the idea that I've had on my head. Like, man, like I've been growing my faith, and I've been achieving this goal with my faith, but now I need to grow in a different area. Now I need to build on that and expand. Everything is about expanding. Everything is about getting out of your comfort zone, because who I am now is everything that I have now is a result of the person I built myself up to be now. So if I want new results, then I need to expand and get out of my comfort zone more and more. So that's the idea that's been on my head this morning. And then also I'm about to open up my life coaching program to the public. Before, I've been creating packages to these community organizations saying that I can service this many people. But I have a lot of great things coming up. So www.jposleyllc.com will have a bunch of information, has all the information about the Take Care Life Coaching Program. I'm now opening that up to one-on-one coaching sessions with people of the public and not just these organizations. And in that program, as I said before, I will talk about your purpose and your passion, because as I got on here and I said what my purpose statement is, that is made up of who you are, what you do, and where you're going. Understand your passion, your GPS, your mission, your aim, your goals, of why you're living now. It helps you live more intentionally and purposely. That's number one. That's the first objective. Number two, as we talked about, creating that system for success, because people talk a lot about the goals, but less about the system that they're putting in place to get the goals. And principles are universal, and the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And so the more that I create these systems, the more I will be able to achieve more of these goals. Then it's talking about specifically, how do I manage my time? How do I get organized? How do I do the things necessary to be productive? How do I be effective with my time throughout the day? They say the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is what you do with your time. But how do I properly spend my time? That's number three. And number four is creating and sustaining that self-care routine. What makes you feel at peace? What makes you feel refilled? What things make you feel exhausted and that make you feel as though you need to be replenished? So getting these things in order and investing in your growth and investing in your mind, being more intentional with your mental diet, being more intentional with your energy and what you're giving your time to. When do you need to shut off your phone? When do you need to read a book? What books do I need to read specifically? And so there's a bunch of things that go into that. We have mastermind group calls at the beginning of the week, the one-on-one coaching calls throughout the week. We have the Take Care workbook with writing prompts, with different self-care guides in there, worksheets to help you get a better understanding of yourself and how you need to progress. So we have a lot of big things coming up. So if you want more information, I have it www.jposleyllc.com to keep you up to date with everything that's going on. It's a great program. It's effective, if I do say so myself. So just working to be most efficient with the the content that I'm talking about, just to make sure that people increase their mental health and their self-care so that they can increase their quality of life.
Amen.
Woo.
Amen. jposleyllc.com. Go check him out right now. Right now. Go do it right now.
He deserved a bomb drop. He deserves the bomb drop.
So fire, man. It's so beautiful what you're doing for the people, dog. It's
y'all be hyping, but I appreciate it,
bro. Hey, you get 2 bomb drops.
It's beautiful what you're doing for the people.
You up there already.
It's all the things that we're. It's all the things that we're on too. Because when you're on, you're aligned on the same mission, the same goal with people. You feel that differently. You feel that. I felt everything you were saying, man. We appreciate you doing it, and we right here beside you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, man. I appreciate y'all having me on here. We all tomahawks on here.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah,
we were definitely a tomahawk. Back when they were still tomahawks, man.
Back when they was tomahawk. Hey, only tomahawk. So to see us from tomahawk days to now, man, it's powerful, and I'm glad that we can connect on more things than just football at this point, because we're men now. We're not in elementary school, middle school, high school, not even college. Like, we're getting up there, and the fact that we can be very purposeful in our mission and our aim and do this together. And man, because a lot of people that we've grown apart from, but we're growing together. It's more powerful feeling than that. So I appreciate all of you.
Yes, sir, man. We appreciate you as well, brother. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate you joining in with us, man. Man, we know we done had some setbacks today. We still here. We still got people rock with us on the live. Right. So shout out to the Freedom Fighter family, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us and staying here because and again, thank you so much, Pose, for coming on today and dropping them gems, man, as well as the last Thursday gems. If you did not watch that yet, make sure I'm gonna mute you, Pose. Make sure that you guys go watch that right now. If you ain't doing that right now, go ahead and turn it on. It's on Facebook. You're gonna see it's gonna be Freedom Fighters Mental Health webinars Part 1. Chris is hosting that. Posey was the first guest. There's so many gems. If you like this today, you better go watch that because it's like that. It's this times 10, and there's so much more on there. So make sure y'all go watch that. So again, Pose, thank you so much for joining in, man. Thank you, brother. You're big time. You are huge, and you are right where you're supposed to be at, bro. Right where you're supposed to be.
Thank you so much. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Real quick, I don't want to just skim over all these comments because Mr. Shonda here always giving back and helping us out with a little bit of everything that she does. Because we're talking about a mentor. She's talking about sometimes you seek, sometimes the mentor you seek is not the mentor for your purpose. She said there are some times that we're called out to more fear to get that mentor. That's so true. That's true.
It. That's why I say talk. That's why I said talk about your talk about your purpose. Talk about your passion in front of anybody who wants to hear it. That your mentor can be right out of there. You go for who you want your mentor to be, but God can have somebody different for you. Who said, yeah, this is who it's supposed to be. This is who get you greater than what you ever thought you could be with this other person that you thought was the greatest. I mean, that's it. Love that, LaShawn.
Hey, and ask for it. I'm telling y'all heard my story today. I asked for it, and he was like, okay, here you go. And it's crazy because he already knew I was about to ask for it because I've been working out with this dude for like 3 weeks prior. He already knew. And then just on that day, I've been working out with him. On that day when I asked for a mentor, in my prayer, he said, hey, I want to be your mentor today because I've asked and he gave it to me. He said, okay, here you go. This is the person that I've been setting up. But since you asked today, we're going to make it concrete. So absolutely love that, Ms. LaShawn. She also said, you all talk about mentors. Do you have any coaches, advisors, and how can they and how they can each impact you? Yes, 100%. We talk about this a lot of having our coaches, having our mentor. Me and Chris, my mentor I talk about, my coach, I hired him as my coach as well, put him on with Chris. And man, we don't got time to break it down how much that has helped us, but especially for athletes have had coaches their entire life. And then when we graduate from sports, we think we don't need any more coaching. Same thing when people go to school. You go to school, you have these teachers your whole entire life. You graduate from college, you graduate from high school, wherever level you're at. You said, I don't need no more training. I don't need them. I'm done with school. No,
False.
We're always learning. That's always going to make us better. And then lastly, Miss Serafina said, heavy on my heart. She said, stop dwelling on what you don't have. Take a step back, look and embrace on what you do have. Be
There
grateful.
it is.
Be grateful.
Gratitude.
Man.
She need some of that. That's what she need. Hey, that was loud. My bad, y'all. But gratitude. Thank you so much, Serafina. Again, man. Any last words? Pose, Chris, Mike. Any last words y'all got for the Freedom Finder family before we get off here?
Like I said, man, Pose, we appreciate you coming on. It's gems every time we talk to you, dog. Gems and things that I need to start doing, because I definitely don't make my bed in the morning, boy. That's something that's gonna have to change for me. Something that's most thing I got from this session. Chris, go make up your bed, bro. I just don't care. Get up and get in here on this computer. But yeah, you make up my bed. Start that discipline even more than I have now. You know what I mean? It's always about growth, and I appreciate you for that. That helped my life today.
You're the funniest dude in the West.
I like to second that, man. Same here, man. The little, it's basically, I got from that, the little things is what, can help you grow. Just the simplest things is just making your bed, man. So I appreciate that, Posley, and all the gems you dropped today, because we all, I know, have learned something today. Every time we talk to you, we're going to learn something. So, man, so I appreciate everything you do for us and, tapping in with us and just showing the Freedom Finder family, one of our longtime friends, on how big of an impact he's making on the East Side. So appreciate that, Pose, and appreciate you, Freedom Finder family, for tapping in with us each and every day. So, man, y'all be great today. Happy Saturday.
Yeah. Any last words for you, Pose?
Real quick, just something that both of you said just about the making the bed. Just realizing that what you're doing is less about what that action actually is, but more so about like the principle that action is given. So just like working out, making your bed, eating right, and all of these things is not about the taste of the food. It's not really about just your body. It's not really about the making the bed part. It's about what things can I do to further this principle of mental discipline. So that's number one. And then I would say, just to leave everybody, just being intentional with your mental diet. They say you are what you eat, but if you are what you eat, then you definitely are what you think. So just focusing on what you're reading, who you're listening to, what you're watching, and what you're putting in your head, because that really makes you who you are. So I talk a lot about being intentional. So just be intentional moving forward. That's the make or break for the mental health aspect of it.
Yes, sir, man. Love that. Again, man, thank you so much. Shout out one more time to Josh Posley in the building, man. Thank you so much, brother. J Posley LLC. I'm pretty sure it's www.jposleyllc.com, correct? jposleyllc.com. So y'all go, man. Y'all go catch him on there. Go check him out. Clearly, it's gonna learn you a little something. So go learn a little something. We didn't even have time to talk about the take care. Every time we talk, we be like, we got to have you back again, bro. So we gotta have to have you back again to talk more about the take care of the program and those systems that people are actually implementing. So we'll definitely get to that. But with that being said, last comment we'll read today. Fina said reunion or hey man, we definitely, I don't know when our 2011.
Is it ours supposed to be this year?
It's
I don't know nothing about it.
It's 2021, so yeah, it's supposed to be this year.
I don't know nothing about it. I mean, I'll stop by, dog.
But you right down the street. You better stop by. So,
stop by. Say what's up.
Fina's in Mississippi. I'm in Charlotte. If we stop by, you better stop by. We gonna be up in there. We gonna be in there with that Freedom Finder merch on.
Come on. I'm definitely gonna have the bomber on.
You know it.
Get your merch.
Yeah, 100%. So now we even outside of just a reunion for school, Fina, man, we need to get a reunion regardless. So definitely I love that idea. Definitely gonna get something brewing for us. For the family, man. We definitely gonna get something brewing together. And go somewhere else that we ain't never been before, man. So we can just go out and see. Y'all always welcome to come to Charlotte. Mike T know about Charlotte, man.
Come on now.
Charlotte. Hey, Chris Harley know. Chris Harley almost know about Charlotte. That boy was asleep. But
come on, man. Come on. I can't do me like this. I went too hard, man.
That boy fell asleep both nights before you went out.
The daytime I had my fun.
The day parties is where it's at. But Charlotte is super lit. But anyway, we'll talk about that. We definitely gonna get a reunion going. for the fam, just to get everybody, make sure we all on the same page and connect and talk about these type of things, and make sure we have mentors, make sure we have coaches, make sure we have goals, make sure we know where we're going, so we can all get on that same page. I absolutely love that. I think we should definitely get something together. But if you guys do not know, we go live every single day, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. So feel free to come tap in with us. And every single Thursday this month, we have the Freedom Finder mental health webinars at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Chris is hosting that show. Pose is on the first show. Last Thursday, we had Anisha, a certified LPC. I believe that's what it is. But
yeah.
LPC,
licensed professional counselor.
There it is, LPC. Mm-hmm. But she does this real life, and she helps people how to get started with therapy. So go watch those replays. They're on Facebook, they're on YouTube, freedomfinders317.com. Talk through the outro, but that does it for the Freedom Finders. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. For the Freedom Finders, we are signing out. Y'all gonna be great.